Hello and welcome back to my AD&D solo campaign, No Regret in Ket. This will be episode 5, and we're going to try and keep this one under half an hour, 30 minutes. Brevity, because right now what we're doing is, if you recall last time we did encounter 7 orcs. We found out that they were from the Broken Bone tribe. We killed 6 of them and routed the 7th one, who managed to get away down this corridor and left through that door. So concerned that he may get reinforcements to come back, because they know that they do have, this is their lair. They decided to take sort of their information and head back to Lorabas. Tell Nushain, see if they can get some money for telling this, if he's interested in that kind of information. Take their, meager electrum pieces back to Zahab and pay the rest of the 10% down payment for both Jizna and Zawar. So that will buy them the rest of the 30 days before they each owe 100 gold pieces. So hopefully Nushain's really interested on this information and will pay heftily for it. So we'll find out when we get back, right? So what we're going to do first is Mumala is going to behead. I know it's a grim bit of work, but he's going to behead the orc, stuff it in his large sack, go down the end of the way where the orc made his escape, and spike the door shut. And they're gonna want to see if there's any sort of movement here. So they'll spike both of the door shuts with his iron spikes that he has, and toss the orc captain's head into a large sack and then take off. However, it is nighttime. Jizna has a single cure light wounds left, and Mumala's been healed back up to 8 hit points from his maximum of 9, and Farouk got nicked there at the end, so he's down to 6 from his 10. So the tents, I know it wasn't that long. There's about 5 or 6 rounds there, so it's about 5 to 10 minutes of fighting, and then cleaning up afterwards is another 10 to 15 minutes, deciding on a course of action. I imagine they weren't there an entire hour, all told. But they're going to head back to see if they can get more information about, or get some more money from Nushain about this. And they're heading back. So they'll leave the dungeon after spiking the doors shut, and they'll head back to Lorabas here, all the way from the Dungeons of Taroosh. As we know, or maybe we don't know, in the Dungeon Master's Guide, in the type of terrain. So the overall terrain is a plain terrain, and so at night, we've already been through the evening in the dungeon, so the encounter is going to be at midnight, and that is all. So one encounter check on the way back, and that is a 1 in 12 chance, because it's moderate and sparsely patrolled. Here we go. They might be hearing some kind of noises of wilderness at night. It's pretty dark, and Zawar is going to have his lantern lit. I mean, it's a good 8 hours back. It's a full night's travel. So we'll do that, and we'll see where it happens. So 11, no encounter overnight. They were tense the whole way. They made it through, and they made it back into town. They get to sort of the guards that are defending the village, and they well met, they say. Made it back in the wee hours of the morning. It's dangerous out there to do that sort of stuff, but guess maybe you got lucky, they said. Mumala says luck has nothing to do with it. And he spits to the side. Because as we know, he's barbaric and sort of forceful. So they make their way into, they knock at the door, because the inn would have been barred at night. They sort of knock at the door. It's the pre-dawn, or it's the dawn hour, so people are starting to wake up and get prepared. So they knock on the door, and Zahab comes and opens it, and is quite surprised that they've made it back. Actually happy and surprised that they made it back in one piece. And so he says, "Oh, you've gotten enough experience now to know that you probably don't want to be out there. It's a dangerous world, right?" I said, not so, Zahab. We come with monies to cover the rest of our 10% down payment for 2 more rooms. I said, "Oh, well, that's wonderful." And he says, "We come with some information from the Dungeons of Taroosh for Nushain, and he might be interested to know about the occupants of said dungeon." I said, "Well, I'm sure he'll come in. He'll come in here in a bit at some point during the day, and then you can chat with him and find that out." I said, "Great." So they pay him for the down payment. And they get the new rooms, and then they go up to their rooms individually. Jizna has to sit and sort of pray for her spells again. She'll do a cure light wounds on Farouk, just maybe trying to get it up to full. 7. That takes him up to his from a 6 to his 10. So he's fully healed. So we're all almost at full health, except for Mamala, who's one down. They do plan on staying maybe most of the day on day 2, hanging around the inn, getting something to eat, and preparing for what lies ahead in the dungeon, knowing that it is an orc lair for the most part. So they hang out most of the day. Some people come and go, and there are what I like to do. This is sort of the dirty notes of the campaign right now. And these are sort of occupants of the Brazen Monkey. I rolled up a number of occupants. There is an alchemist, human female. She's Iridian. There's Nushain Astorian, the astrologist. I rolled up an adventurer by the name of Obers the Brave. He's a local, but he's Sewell. And then I rolled up a merchant, Koraman. He's from the woodlands up here, the forest up here, and he's looking to sell some lumber. And we have a trapper by the name of Ender Ferretbane. He's a regular patron. He comes in once or twice a month, with pelts of animals that he's trapped and selling them off. But he's from 40 miles to the north, so he's pretty far north up here. And then there's a gambler, human male by the name of Telek the Grift, which is it's on the nose. He's looking for someone, and he is rather far away. So he's into he's even farther north than Mumala was. He's 250 miles north, So he's looking for someone, and he's a gambler. And of course, there's the innkeeper, Zahab, and his wife, and the people working there. So these are sort of the characters that I've rolled up who are going to be in the Brazen Monkey. We're not going to do a lot of. We're keeping to ourselves because we don't have a lot of money right now. We don't want word to get out that there's orcs out there outside of Nushain and maybe General Hadar, and that we don't want people to think that there's treasure to be had in the dungeons, because we haven't got much yet. So we're playing it safe because we're still sort of inexperienced, but we're dipping our toes and we're getting experience. We survived the night. It's very tense. The first interaction, the first combat. I mean, once Mumala went off, he's just very aggressive and forceful. So he wanted to keep going, but cooler heads prevailed. With Zawar being the mouthpiece and the leader of the group, and the young Farouk, as we said, he's only 16 years old, but he's he's a strategist, he's a good fighter, he's intelligent, and so we feel like he would be the combat leader. He's got to win over Mumala though, because Mumala is a bit older, and he's got to find a way to get the respect of the entire group in terms of being the strategist when it comes to combat. So he'll have his chance to do that. So he's, he had the jitters, the pre-game jitters, if you will, and then when it happened, he stepped up too, and he made a few kills. So they hang out for a bit, and then sure enough, later on the evening or later in the day on day 2, they have a nap in the morning, get rested up. Later on the day of day 2, Nushain comes back into the Brazen Monkey, and they approach him. So what I do here, and I think I've got this from like Brian's channel, there's a little chart that sort of I put together that we can roll NPC character interest in an interaction with our characters. And so in the same way, we can show how interested Nushain is in their information about the Dungeons of Taroosh being, inhabited by a band of orcs. So what we'll do is we'll find out how much money this information is worth to him. So we'll roll a d10, and it'll be d10 times 10 gold pieces worth this information is. So this is interesting. So what's going to happen? So Zawar will talk to him because he's the mouthpiece, right? And we'll roll d10 to see how interested in it. We'll see how many gold pieces. d10 times 10. So it doesn't seem like he's very interested. He's not really sure about it. So he'll offer 20 gold pieces, which isn't a lot. We're a little disappointed about this. So Mumala tries to sweeten the pot. So he reaches into his sack. He pulls out the orc captain's severed head, slams it on the table in front of him, and says, "There's your evidence." He kind of spits off to the side. In a way, in an attempt to convince him that this is worth doing, right, or worth paying money for. One of these days I'm gonna memorize these pages, but But I think it's like, it's a very, people turn their eyes towards them and this stinky severed head. It's like this is what he looked like, right? So he's got like the gray skin, the old sort of rusted helmet, and he drops that head, which is a pretty big head compared to theirs, on the table. You get some gasps from some people, but that's they're gonna try and see if this affects Nushain in any way. So Nushain, so I rolled up his general tendencies and things like that. He is, we look back, if we can change his perception of the threat required. So Nushain is, the general tendencies, he's capricious or mischievous, as befitting a gnome. And his personality, he is well-spoken. So he's an educated sort of gnome. And I don't know whether or not Mumala is thinking that he could, make him be afraid. Okay, so we'll do, and Nushain is a wash, so Nushain's, so is Mumala, or we can put the 10% down for, actually Mumala's a wash, so we'll see if, and Nushain is plus 1 to 8% for his well-spokenness and minus 1 to 8% for his mischievous capriciousness. So we'll start with his plus 1 to 8%. That's 8 for his well-spoken demeanor, and 6 for his negative. So a total of plus 2%. We'll have the green and the red. So we could make this worse. So it is going to be, so here for a second. Green is the 10s, red is the 1s. So we're looking for a high one. We're looking for a high one. It's 11. Is hostile. So it didn't go over very well with him. Did not care for that. So I feel like we should do sort of like if it was neutral. If it was neutral, it would be like you could re-roll and it would be at 0. Uncertain would be -1. Hostile is -2, -3. Uncertain +1, friendly +2, enthusiastic +3. So it's going to be, we're going to re-roll the interest and we'll subtract 2 to a minimum of 1. So maybe his forcefulness changed Nushain's mind. Okay, so that's 8 minus 2, 6, which means times 10, he's going to offer 60 gold pieces for the information. So Mumala says, this is, if it matters, this is the Broken Bone tribe. We're planning on going back and finding out more information. Maybe we'll find out more about the adventurers that went there 5 years ago and disappeared. Maybe we'll find, this is Zoar's talking now. Maybe we'll find out they became slaves and we could free them. Maybe we'll find out they died. So we'll find out their fates too, and find out how many orcs there actually are in this dungeon. But we do know that there was nefarious. We found like an old cresset filled with dried oil in it, which Zoar is saying, which would have been used for some sort of torture technique. So we don't know if it was run by a cult down there, which is possible because it's underground. It's run by evil magic users, which are doing nefarious experiments down there or whatever, or for like an evil god or something. Maybe it's just a place where humanoids run about. So we'll find out more. But if we bring back more information to sort of solidify what else is in there that might be of use to you or of interest to you, you will let us know, and we'll let you know when we come back. Nushain said, okay, well, thank you for the information. I will pass that on to General Hadar. If you're going to stay around for another day, no, first thing in the morning tomorrow, we're going to head back because, one of them got away, and we think maybe they're going to inform the rest of the clan or the group. So we need to strike hard and strike fast because they're already aware that people have discovered this and they're coming down. So we'll be back, and maybe they'll want revenge against slaying the captain of the guard. So we're gonna go back as soon as we can. We're just resting up, getting a couple of more iron rations and maybe another couple of iron spikes, and then we're good to go. I don't believe there's anything more that we need, anything in terms of equipment that we need. So we don't have a lot of money anyway, so we're not bandying that about. So we'll make a quick calculation too. We know that Nushain, these are my rough notes. Nushain decided that he was gonna pay 60 gold pieces for info. Nushain. So we've already spent our 44 electrum pieces equaled 22 gold pieces. We need to give 10 for Zawar's down payment. We needed to give 10 for Jizana's down payment. That left us with 2 gold pieces as a team, and then Nushain is giving us 60. So we'll have a total of 62. I think we'll hand that over to Zahab to safekeep for us in our rooms, so we have it there. And whenever we bring back treasures, maybe we'll get Zahab. That's part of the deal they have for paying for the rooms and putting down payments, is that he's gonna have like a safe area for their treasures. So they'll have 62 gold pieces in the treasury, and the experience points fractionally I would round up. So from the 22 gold pieces, we rounded up to 6 XP each, and then the six orcs with various hit points equaled 24. Well, they would have 24 experience each for those. So it's a total of 30 experience points per adventurer. So not nothing, but we're getting started. And then we have 62 gold pieces in the kitty back at the Brazen Monkey. So yeah, then we're gonna head off on first thing in the morning on day 3 of flock time. So we'll or day 3, which would be day 3. So day 2 is the 4th of flock time, which is their travel back. Spend the evening there, and day 3 is the 5th of flock time. Is that right? Yeah, 4th flock time they travel back. 5th of flock time, they will be traveling back to the dungeons together. You know, again, the jitters are over. They're ready to go. They're going to head back. It's going to take an entire day to get back there. So we'll just quickly roll up 2 encounters because it's during the day on day 3. So we're going to go through around the lake again. We'll say that the weather holds, you know, the weather holds for like 3 days at a time, unless it's like temperamental and there's rains and things like that. So it'll be cloudy again, decently warm. They'll head out, and we'll roll. So 1 and 12 during the day. Daytime. So there is no encounter their first part of the day on day 3. It's like 5th of flock time. I just imagine, you know, it's like they're excited to go out again. The mythic underworld is just, it is kind of scary. So morning we got nothing. Evening, well, this will be the evening check. Ooh, and nothing. So we made it back. We make it back to the dungeons, and then they walk down the stairs. They walk down the stairs. You know, Mumala goes first. He tells everybody, he's like, you know, don't get the lanterns out yet, because I'll get to the bottom. We'll do this. So they come down the stairs, and I'm gonna say, you know, there's a 50-50 chance that the iron spikes have been removed per door. So I guess it'll be 50-50 chance that an iron spike has been removed, and if it's no, there'll be a 25% chance that the other one has been removed. So the green, yes, is 50 and under. Green is 10s. No, iron spikes have not been removed. Or the one where the guy escaped. So he escaped this way. I don't know why I put the arrow there. Oh no, he did. Yeah, he escaped that way. 25% chance that the iron spike has been removed from this one. No. So they have not been back. And Mumala's like, we could have stayed here. It would have been fine. So remove the iron spikes, and then they decide which way they're gonna go. Well, he went off to the west, and they haven't been back. He said, we might as well. Maybe they'll expect we'll come this way. This is Zawar. No, yeah, no. Farouk is like, maybe they'll expect we'll come this way, and so we should go the other way. And we'll put the D6s will be Zawar. Well, Zawar wants to go this way. But since this is they don't know each other all that well. Since this is a democracy of a group, we'll say 1 to 3 this way, 4 to 6 this way. And if there's a tie, Zawar wins, and he'll say we're going to go in behind. So this is Zawar, this is Mumala, This is Jizna. And this is Farouk. All right, Farouk wants to go west, right? Okay, Farouk, Jizna, Mumala. Okay, so 5. Okay, so it's a split decision. The 1s want to go this way. The 5s want to go this way. So if it's a split decision, they decide to follow Farouk's decision, and they're gonna strategically go this way and try and get around back. So we're gonna try and outflank them, if you will. And so come back next time where we get back into the nitty-gritty of it. We do more investigation, discovery in the Dungeons of Taroosh. It's dusty, it smells old, and what's laying about, what kind of treasures there. It's exciting. So come back next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video too. So thank you very much. We'll see you again soon.